Take your skills to the next level with our DSLR filmmaking class for only 99 cents. Follow the first link in the description below for more information. Welcome to Creative Tuesday, guys. In this series, we share some exciting tips and tricks for filmmakers. I'm your host, Jordy, for Cinecom.net, and today we're having a look at 5 super simple yet amazing transitions you can do in camera or with an easy editing trick. We'll start off with the foreground swipe. Have some foreground object in your shot, and then simply swipe your camera in. Take your shot and swipe your camera back out. You can now connect this with a similar shot, where you use a different foreground object. You can choose to keep going in the same direction with your transitions or in the opposite, creating this little bump effect. I actually used many of these transitions in a promo video I recently shot for a shopping village. And by the way, those who are wondering which cage that is around my camera, well, it's the very DSLR cage for the Panasonic Lumix cameras. Now, they did send one to me, but they're not sponsoring or expecting anything from this video. I just love to make a shout out to them because it's a really awesome cage. You can get to all the buttons, it has a strap and a pretty good viewfinder which wraps around your display. I'll leave a link to the product page in the description below. The next super amazing simple transition is what I call the turn. Again, you want to have some kind of foreground object. And this time we'll not swipe, but turn around that object. You can even pull focus to the object while doing this. But make sure that you turn fast enough, definitely if you're going handheld. On gimbals, this will go a little bit easier. Then in your next shot, you start turning around another foreground object and then point your camera towards the subject. If you laid focus on the foreground, then make sure to start your second shot with the foreground in focus as well. Then turn in the same direction at the same speed and then pull your focus back to the subject. So this is why I hate to walk in the park. It's a minefield of dog shit. The next transition is the fast motion cut. You have two objects fastly moving in your shot. If they move in the same direction, you can cut to either of them, making a pretty cool transition. Here's an example I did for that promo video I made, where you can see a pizza going up into the air and falling back down. But as the pizza falls, we cut to a shirt being put down. The next camera transition is a flow of different actions. Now, the idea here is to find a pattern of different motions. For example, at a basketball game. A typical action could be where someone is bouncing the ball, run up to the ring and throws the ball in. Now, since we know it's an action that happens a lot at this game, we can film this from different angles and players. Then in post-production, you cut from one player to another, but make sure that the action seems to flow. So if you cut right before the ball hits the ground, in your next shot the ball should hit the ground. So if we take multiple of these shots and edit them in a sequence, you could get something like this. And that brings us to the last transition, which is speed ramping. Essentially what you do is speed up the last part of your first shot and then speeding up the first part of your second shot. Combining these two will fast forward the cut in between, making it flow very nice. This works best if you film handheld and slowly move in a certain direction or following a moving object. Now, besides our YouTube channel, we also have an amazing community over at Skillshare. Here you can find various online classes from us, like the basics of professional DSLR filmmaking. It's a very interactive class with tons of practices and a community where you can get in direct contact with me to ask any questions or upload your work for some feedback. And you can start this class for only 99 cents by following the first link in the description below. And with that active subscription, you can also take any of the almost 20,000 other classes from Skillshare. Hope to see you guys there. Thank you so much for watching and stay creative. So we are breaking a world record right here, guys, with DIY sound absorption panels. Have you ever seen that scale of sound absorption panel? I didn't think so. This is definitely a new world record. And this is all the rock wool insulation that goes into these caskets.